course, happy 50th anniversary, Warnborough. Congratulations. Love you. You're the best.
Warnborough College was founded in Oxford in 1973. I was a graduate student at the University of Oxford at Hertford College, and I was quite familiar with the tutorial system. And I went to America to teach in West Virginia, and I was there for 1 year, and I learnt about the semester year abroad, study abroad program, and I thought, well, this would be a good opportunity to recruit students to have the Oxford tutorial system. So the program started in January 1973 with a group of students coming, which began the first phase of 50 years of welcoming students.
Yeah, I moved to Oxford, to Warnborough in 1973. And the reason I went there is that my mother had sent me a photograph of a property that she had acquired, called Warnborough House. And it was just, when I saw the photograph, I thought, oh, I just have to come over and visit. And I always had a longing to see England because the culture at that time, we still had very strong ties to England, and we were very greatly influenced by all the mores that the UK had to offer, and all its history all had a great impact on us. So that was my reason for going. When I first arrived there, England was everything more than I expected. It was much better, and I just fell in love with the city of Oxford. I loved the history. I loved the whole ambience of the place. I loved the greenery. I felt very much at home.
So happy 50th anniversary to Warnborough, and all the best for the next 50 or 100 years, and all the best for everybody.
We were in this little office, 3 little rooms we had, and a library. And then after a year, we moved into the lovely buildings on Boars Hill. And we had the Bishop's office and St Gilbert Burry's house as well. So there was 2 beautiful homes, all ready for the students. Well, it was great fun. I always felt that I was very, very welcome there. Mrs. Tempest-Mogg and Brendan, and then Darrell, they were always supportive of me. Brendan was he knew exactly what he wanted. Ethel didn't always agree with what Brendan wanted, but she was behind him 100%, and she supported him all through the years that I worked for them, which was 9 years.
Happy anniversary for the Warnborough College, and yeah, congratulations from Germany.
I chose Warnborough because I was with my husband over in the UK. He was there for business. We've been stationed there. I wanted to do a degree, and we weren't going to be there more than 18 months. So I wanted to start somewhere where I could take the credits back to the United States and finish in the States. As it turns out, I did the whole degree at Warnborough, and we were there a lot longer than 18 months. I've been out of the country about 40 years, actually. So, long 18 months. The tutorial system that they used based on the Oxford tutorial system with 1 instructor and 1 student was terrific. It was the best way to learn. I had some excellent instructors, and when I decided to go on to another British university, they were a tremendous help in my being able to do that.
Sure, Warnborough College. Can we please focus? We gotta watch out here. We gotta try to focus all this in, right?
Warnborough College, it sees education as an advantage, and not to be just left as theoretical qualification, but something that skills one to live a much enriched life. And so it was my privilege to be the Dean of the college's Australian Studies program, which ran for a number of years, semester-long programs, and the chief study basis for those students was in Brisbane at St John's College or Emmanuel College at the University of Queensland and at the University of New South Wales, where students resided at the Centre for Christian Education.
I did Australia first, and then when I was in Australia I found out about the Oxford campus and that I could go there, so I did a full year with Warnborough. And while I was in England, in Oxford, I did the spring break in Russia, so I did all 3 of those programs. I have to say it was the absolute best time of my life. I grew as much as a person as I had in the previous probably 19 years. I think I was 20 when I got there.
Happy 50th anniversary to Warnborough. It's been a wonderful ride and with great leadership.
I never forget my study in Warnborough. It was the best time in my life. I never forget my best teacher, like Dr. Sharati, like another teachers like Brandon, like Darrell. And after that, I decide I must be as a great historian.
In her last serious interview, Princess Diana said, "Knowledge is power." And in her first, she said, "I'm as thick as a brick." I'm fascinated by the extraordinary difference in tone and intelligence between that first quote and the second. And I think it shows the improvement that all of us can make and the growth. She was right. Knowledge is power. Princess Diana knew it. Warnborough knows it. Because great minds think alike. Hail Diana, hail Warnborough.
Congratulations and happy 50th birthday, Warnborough. And thank you for the amazing educational journey. All the success for the next 50.
I have been through the traditional universities in New Zealand, traditional universities in America, and there's always a barrier trying to see senior staff, get information. It's also a procedure, but that doesn't happen with Warnborough. It's easy to access. The people who count, who can give you the information, are easy to contact.
I believe that Warnborough's success is due to its adaptability and being able to change with the times and not being all things to all people. I think that it's important for us to understand what we're good at and to do it well. We've successfully made the transition from bringing students to education to bringing education to students. And that's why we've got learning centres and we've got the distance learning options.
I found Warnborough because I really needed an online program, and Warnborough is a pioneer in this area. There weren't a whole lot of distance learning programs out there, and most of them did not have a good reputation. So I decided to give it a try, and I was extremely pleased with how the program worked. With what I could do in terms of my own scholarship and research. And it really led me to so many professional avenues that I hadn't even considered at the time. I got very involved in research methodology and in curricula development. And I really felt that the implementation of fine arts and art history programs would be a wonderful thing for the college, and the response was phenomenal. Apart from that, the experience for the students and for me as a mentor were phenomenal as well. after we had been running our programs for quite a while, we got the idea that an arts conference would be a wonderful way to bring people together, to create a greater awareness of the arts and also of our programs. And it would also be a way of building community among a distance learning population. It turned out so well. It was almost like a homecoming in many ways. We had people from all over the globe showing up for it. And the presentations were presented by former students, by other arts professionals, and it was fascinating how it all came together. As we moved through the years, we started to have a broader scope to include all of the arts.
I know Warnborough College since 2015. Warnborough College interested me then times because I saw that they are going a unique way, a student-centered way. And everything was focused on taking care of every student. And I liked the philosophy behind, not profiting from, but giving to the students, with acceptance of accreditation of prior learning, of course. The international work of Warnborough College International, with many international learning centers and partner universities, was high-end. I'm pleased to have been actively working with Warnborough College International for over 8 years now, and hope to continue as well in the future.
It's been 15 good years that I've been knowing Warnborough, and looking at Warnborough and actually witnessing the different milestones that it has achieved over the last 1.5 decade that I have known it for. It's amazing. I think it's especially the quality systems, the operations, the procedures, the way monitoring is done. I think Warnborough have actually gone to a very impressive extent. Plus the other things that are associated, including the association of Warnborough with IVETA, for instance, that broadens the horizons of Warnborough, and not only to become an awarding body who's just sitting passively in one part of the world and looking at things being done on the other part of the globe. No, it has been very, I would say, very prudently involved in all the quality operations, in the way we educate people, in the way we train people, in the way skills have been provided, the way teachers and capacity building of an institute needs to be done. So it is remarkable. I think in that 15 to 20 years is a big time period for a human being. But when you talk about institutions, it's just not that big. And I think in 15 years, Warnborough has done a great job.
It was the combination, or I should say it is the combination of freedom plus rigor plus the ability for learners to continue in their profession while pursuing their passion in a strong academic environment.
The very good example is like when the first time when internet just came to the world, that is around 1990 something, and Warnborough College they are already trying to do distance learning, and they are trying to do online learning already during that time. Okay, so I find that this group of people, they are very innovative. What we are doing here in Malaysia is also something that many universities or colleges around the world that they are not really doing it also. Okay, so that's what I see. That's from the Warnborough kind of approach that is very industry-driven kind of methodology that they are really trying hard, in their own private initiative way.
It's been some years since I finished my course, but looking forward to seeing how you get on in the future, and congratulations once again.
I met Brendan in London from Warnborough in about 2002, 2003. We developed a good friendship, and I met Julian and I met Daryl and various other people, and we've continued to be good friends and colleagues working together ever since then. When it comes to education, Warnborough and ACS, my school, are both on the same track. We both put learning as a priority and quality learning. Warnborough's always been about helping people learn. I've always been impressed by Warnborough, the way they network with the industry right across the world, and they're always looking at trends and developments in education. We try to do the same thing at ACS. They're always at the cutting edge. They're always doing something new. They're always looking towards the future and providing the very best for their students.
I've been out of work for quite a long time, and I read through the criteria, and I just thought, what a good way to learn to get back to work. I learned a lot. I learned a lot of interview skills, things that I probably should have known, but obviously I never. Yeah, I learned a lot.
Happy 50th anniversary, Warnborough College.
Each one of us should be very proud that we're graduated from this wonderful institution. It is what we make of ourselves in all of our walks in life that is important. Never stop dreaming.